False familiarity as protection, déjà vu. Let's decode false familiarity without fluff. Déjà vu isn't destiny. It's your brain downshifting to feel safe when load is high. Under stress, your system chooses speed over detail. Familiarity equals lower threat. So the fast circuit stamps the moment, known, before the slow circuit loads context. That's the eerie sensation. Vibe arrives first, story is late. Why this matters? If you treat déjà vu like a warning, your arousal spikes and the loop tightens. If you treat it like reassurance, a safety ping that fired early, you stop feeding the spiral and give context time to catch up. That reframing alone reduces fear and shortens episodes. Here's the mechanism in plain terms. Your brain runs 2 checks on every scene. Fast familiarity. Pattern like this before? It's quick and coarse. Slow context. Where, when, with who, and what happened. It's slower and detailed. When you're tired, stressed, caffeinated, or overstimulated, attention narrows and dissociation nibbles at the edges. The fast system still pings, but the slow system lags. Result: a confident "we know this" feeling with no matching file. It's not mystical, just a timing error amplified by arousal. The thing most people miss is the protective intent. Your brain is trying to lower uncertainty quickly because uncertainty feels dangerous when you're loaded. Known buys short-term relief. The cost shows up when you believe the stamp literally and start searching for meaning. That hunt is gasoline on arousal and keeps context offline. Quick microstory. A client walked into a big box store after a short night and 3 coffees. Fluorescent lights, beeps, crowded aisles, bandwidth shredded. Bang! A sharp "I've been here" hit, and her panic dipped a notch. She used to chase it. From where? Is this a sign? 10 minutes later, she'd be lightheaded and shaky. Once she learned to label it, false familiarity, reassurance signal, and then pulled one precise detail into focus, the wave broke in under a minute. Same store. New response. Okay, so what's the practical win you can get today? Use this 3-move mini reset. Name it. False familiarity, reassurance, not omen. Labeling shaves ambiguity. Load check. Rate arousal -10. If you're above 6, you regulate first, think later. Precision ground. Find one exact visual, tactile, or auditory detail. Deep teal on the cereal logo. Cool, smooth edge of the cart handle. Compressor hum far right. The reason this works is simple. Precision steals bandwidth from vague prediction. Your brain can't keep rehearsing phantom memories while it's busy rendering sharp, present-time details. As soon as even one verifiable new pixel lands, the spell weakens because genuine déjà vu can't coexist with confirmed novelty. Now here's where most people mess up. They try to remember from where. That search loop keeps arousal hot and widens the gap between familiarity and context. Others argue with the sensation. This can't be happening, which adds load. And many leave the scene fast. Exiting teaches your brain the sensation signaled danger. Next time, it'll fire louder and sooner. Try the one new, one true prompt. One new detail, right now. One true fact you can assert. New, the checkout light flickers. True, I'm holding a blue basket. Say them quietly. That stitches vibe to story and nudges context online. Now, before we go deeper, set the stakes. Misreading déjà vu as prophecy leads to avoidance, compulsive meaning-making, and a self-fulfilling loop. You'll start rerouting your life around a feeling. Treating it as reassurance flips the script. You'll regulate first, let context load, and keep moving. Real-world impact? Fewer spirals, shorter episodes, less avoidance, more freedom. Here's a fast, 30-second drill you can run in public without looking odd. Whisper the label. False familiar, safety ping. Breathe 4 in, 6 out once. Eyes, find 3 color patches, name one precisely. Feet, press heels down for 3 seconds. Ears, locate 1 sound left, 1 sound right. If you overshoot into anxiety, add 2 more slow exhales. Longer exhales tap the brake. 1 more insight worth pocketing. The emotional tone you feel during déjà vu is usually your current state, not hidden meaning. If you're tense, the familiarity feels eerie. If you're calm, it can feel cozy. That's state tinting the signal. When you lower load, the same phenomenon loses its sting. Let me add a checkpoint phrase you can memorize for the next wave. Fast-fired first. Slow is catching up. It's short, true, and points your attention toward patience rather than prophecy. If you remember nothing else from this section, remember this. Déjà vu is a protective shortcut arriving early. Label it as reassurance. Regulate until you're under 6/10. Then invite context by naming one precise, present detail. Stay long enough for the feeling to pass, so your brain updates the file. We can be here, and nothing bad happens. Once that clicks, everything else gets easier. In a moment, we'll map the full trauma loop that makes false familiarity more likely, and show you a clean, 90-second sequence to interrupt it anywhere, so you can stop spiraling and get your day back. The trauma loop model. Why your brain fakes familiar, déjà vu. You've seen how false familiarity is a speed over detail move. Now let's widen the lens and map the whole loop that makes it happen more often under stress. The loop goes like this. Trigger, overload, dissociation, false familiarity, short-term relief, avoidance reinforced. Round and round. It's not mystical, it's mechanical. And once you see the gears, you can jam a wedge into them in under 2 minutes. Start with triggers. These can be obvious: harsh lighting, a loud bang, the smell of antiseptic, or subtle, like a thought snippet, hunger, or that 3-coffee buzz. On a loaded day, even small sparks jump your system. Overload is what follows. Arousal spikes, bandwidth narrows, and your brain starts cutting corners to keep you moving. That's adaptive when a car swerves. It's messy in a grocery aisle. This is where dissociation slips in. Think of it as your system dimming the lights to save the circuit. Derealization flattens the world. Depersonalization puts you half a step to the side of yourself. Helpful intent, clumsy side effect. When the world goes low resolution, the details that anchor time and place blur. The brain hates blanks, so it backfills with the cheapest stabilizer it has, familiarity. Known feels safer than unknown, so the fast stamp fires. False familiarity lands like a confident tag. We've been here. It buys short-term relief because certainty calms. But if you take the stamp literally, you're likely to freeze, flee, or chase meaning. That chase fuels more arousal, which keeps context offline. If you exit the scene, the relief is instant. And your brain learns the wrong lesson. Good job, alarm justified, fire earlier next time. That's the training loop of avoidance. Biologically, the reason this loop persists is simple. In stress, your brain prioritizes quick pattern checks over slow context assembly. It's the smoke detector strategy. Better a false alarm than a missed fire. Evolution rewarded speed. Modern life punishes false positives. When your baseline is jacked by sleep debt, conflict, or screens late at night, the detector pings a lot. Now, here's the move that breaks the loop. Interrupt it at the level of state, not story. You don't need to win an argument with your thoughts. You need to change the conditions that make the false stamp persuasive. Use the name, load, ground sequence as your wedge. Name it first. False familiarity, reassurance signal. You're not debating, you're labeling. Labels shrink ambiguity, which lowers load. Then load check. Rate arousal on a -10 scale. If you're above 6, your brain is in protection mode, not insight mode. Decide now. Regulate first, interpret later. Finally, ground with precision. Anchor one sense with detail. The exact temperature on your palm, the deep teal on a sign, a sound located to your left at mid-distance. Precision forces the slow context system to boot. Put that into a 90-second reset you can run anywhere. Seconds -15. Name it out loud. False familiar, safety ping, not omen. Seconds 15 to 30, load check. If 7 to 10, commit to regulation before meaning. Seconds 30 to 60, ground 3 senses. See 3 colors and name one precisely. Feel 2 textures and describe them simply. Locate 1 distinct sound in space. Seconds 60 to 90, coherence breath. Inhale 4, exhale 6, 3 cycles. Keep it smooth and quiet. Most people feel their number drop at least 1 point by the end. And here's the key. Don't leave right away. Micro-expose. Stay for 60 to 90 seconds after your arousal dips below 6/10. While you remain, run a tiny ritual anchor. Straighten one item. Place keys in the same dish. Align a book's edge. You're borrowing routine to seed real familiarity. That's the file update your brain needs. We stayed while calm, and nothing happened. Now here's where most people mess up. They try to solve the loop with analysis while still at 7/10. That ties the déjà vu feeling to endless investigation, which your brain then marks as threat adjacent. Others sprint out of the scene, which pairs relief with escape, and many stack tools randomly. Novelty adds load. Keep your sequence simple and predictable, so your body recognizes it as a safety script. A useful cognitive line to pair with the reset is, fast fired first, slow is catching up. Another, lowering load so context can bind. These phrases coach attention toward mechanism, not meaning. They make the experience coherent, which is exactly what your system is craving. A quick story for contrast. A friend kept getting déjà vu at the same intersection. She'd reroute and text friends for reassurance. Arousal started rising streets before the corner. After learning the loop, she ran name, load, ground at the intersection 3 days in a row and stayed 90 seconds after dipping below 6 out of 10, straightening her lanyard as a ritual anchor. Day 1, arousal 8/10, misfire lasted a minute. Day 2, June 10th, wave faded in 40 seconds. Day 3, April 10th, no misfire, just a corner that smelled like bread. She didn't argue with the stamp, she retrained it. If you remember nothing else, remember this. The loop runs on speed and avoidance. You break it with precision and presence. Label the stamp, lower load, ground with detail. Stay long enough for calm evidence to overwrite the old prediction. Do that consistently, and your smoke detector stops shrieking at toast. Neuroscience without the jargon, the familiarity circuit. Let's pull the wires without drowning in jargon. Your brain runs 2 checks on every moment. One fast, one slow. The fast check asks, have I seen a pattern like this? It uses coarse features, shapes, layouts, lighting, rhythms, even the cadence of footsteps. The slow check asks, where, when, with who, and what happened. That's names, sequence, and story. Under load, the fast check gets priority because it's cheap and quick. That's why vibe can arrive first while context is still booting. The part most people miss is that familiarity and memory are different jobs. Familiarity is a feeling level estimate, known-ish, while memory is stitched detail. When you're tired, stressed, or a bit dissociated, bandwidth narrows. The fast circuit can still sample broad features and deliver a confident known, but the slow circuit that binds details is lagging. The gap between those 2 checks is the sweet spot for déjà vu. Vibe arrives naked. Story shows up late. Think of the fast check like your phone's autocomplete. You type con, and it guesses connect or conclude based on past patterns. It's fast and often right, but when your attention is split, it's more likely to be confidently wrong. Same here. The brain guesses known off partial input. If contextual assembly is delayed, because arousal is high or attention is tight, you feel the conviction of we've been here, without a file to match it. Now, why does this feel so visceral? Because your body treats familiarity as a safety cue. Known equals probably safe, and unknown equals check for threat. Under stress, the threshold for stamping known drops, or the opposite happens. The tag fails to attach and jamais vu hits. Familiar places feel alien. Both are timing problems at the seam, where fast checks meet slow binding. Okay, so how do you work with this instead of arguing with it? You force the slow system to come online by demanding precision. The slow system cares about specifics, time, people, sequence, and details. When you name one exact color, feel one precise texture, or locate one sound in space, you're telling the slow system, bind this moment. That binding is what dissolves the eerie split between vibe and story. Here's a clean 3-beat model to keep in your pocket. Beat 1, fast scan, broad features, cheap guesses. Beat 2, hazard bias. Under load, the brain tilts toward quick reassurance or quick alarm, so the familiarity stamp fires liberally or goes missing. Beat 3, context assembly. Given a little time and lower arousal, the slower network binds place, time, and sequence. When assembly lags while the stamp is loud, you feel déjà vu. When assembly lands but the stamp is absent, you feel jamais vu. Let me give you a simple test you can run anywhere to recruit binding. Ask, what's different? Finding even one mismatch. Seasonal display changed, sunlight angle shifted, background playlist swapped. Pushes prediction to update. Updating naturally recruits the slow system. Then pair it with one new, one true. New, a detail you've never noticed. True, a stable fact in this moment. New, the tile has a hairline crack. True, my heels are on the floor. That stitch moves you from vibe to story. Now, here's where most people mess up. They hunt origin. From where do I know this? That pulls you backward into a search with a hot nervous system. The search keeps arousal high, which slows binding, and the strange feeling lingers. The better move is present to precise. Pull a detail into working memory. Breathe with a longer exhale. and let the slow system finish its job. Once binding lands, the conviction fades because the brain no longer needs the cheap known tag. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Déjà vu isn't prophecy, it's a timing gap. Fast fired first, slow is catching up. Your job isn't to decode a message, it's to invite context by lowering load and naming specifics. When you do that, the circuit does what it's built to do, bind the moment and restore coherence. So the world feels real again, and the stamp loses its grip. Dissociation drives false familiarity, trauma forward. Now let's connect the timing gap to the state that widens it, dissociation. When load spikes, your system protects you by dialing down intensity. Helpful intent, messy side effects. Dissociation isn't drama, it's an energy-saving mode. But when your brain lowers the resolution of experience to keep you from flooding, the anchors that tell you "me here now" get fuzzy, and that's the perfect setup for false familiarity to slip in. Why this matters? When anchors blur, your brain has to choose between uncertainty and speed. Uncertainty feels risky at high arousal, so it backfills. Familiarity is the cheapest stabilizer the system has. If derealization flattens depth and texture, or depersonalization makes you feel a step to the side of yourself, the fast familiarity circuit can roam unchallenged while the slow context network spins. That's the eerie, we've been here, vibe with no story to support it. What's happening under the hood? Think of dissociation as two tweaks: narrowed attention and disrupted tagging. Narrowed attention means your system samples broad, low-cost features, symmetry, lighting, layout, while skipping fine detail. Disrupted tagging means timestamps and sequence markers don't bind cleanly. Blend those, and you get low-res scenes that resemble many prior patterns. The fast circuit sees a match, stamps known, and the slower binding that would confirm or deny is late to the party. Okay, so the tricky part is catching the slide early. Subtle tells help. Time microskips. You realize you missed a few seconds of what you just did. Glass wall feeling. The room looks flat, like you're behind a pane. Autopilot speech. You're saying words, but not fully tracking them. Texture blindness. Surfaces feel generic, not distinct. These are green flags to adjust state, not to start a meaning hunt. Here's the key shift. Don't argue with dissociation. It's not a debate problem, it's a bandwidth problem. Your job is to increase resolution and lower load so context can bind. Use a fast, mechanical routine that doesn't rely on willpower or insight. I like the 5530 protocol because it's simple and sensory heavy. 5 textures. Find and touch 5 distinct surface qualities. Name them in plain words. Cool metal, ribbed cardboard, soft cotton, slick plastic, grainy tile. Don't rush. Feel temperature, weight, and edges. 5 sounds. Identify 5 discrete sounds at different distances and locations. HVAC hum far right, cart rattle behind, footsteps mid-left, distant chatter, faint music above. Locate them in space. 30 count, hold release. Take a comfortable inhale. Hold while counting evenly to 30. Then slow release with a longer exhale and a soft sigh. If breath holds spike anxiety, skip the hold and do 3 longer exhales instead. Why this helps? Texture and sound discrimination force high-resolution sampling. That tells the slow system, we're here now, which reattaches timestamps. The brief hold, or simply longer exhale, nudges the brake system, lowering arousal so binding can complete. Net effect. The world regains depth, the false familiar tag loses authority. Now here's where most people mess up. They speedrun grounding like a checklist. Fast listing without sensing keeps you in low res. Slow, precise contact wins. Others try to decode the experience while still above 6/10 arousal. Insight at 7 out of 10 is just a fear rehearsal. Regulate first, interpret later. And a big one, leaving the scene the moment it feels wrong. That pairs relief with escape and trains your system to fire earlier next time. Use a neutral label to keep your brain from launching a story. Derealization plus a false familiar overlay. My job is clarity, not certainty. Then run 5530. As your number dips, do micro-exposure. Remain 60 to 90 seconds after you're below 6/10. While you stay, borrow routine to seed genuine familiarity. Align a book's edge, set your keys in the usual dish, wipe a 2-inch square. Routine proves continuity better than arguments ever will. Quick story. A student messaged me. Hallways felt copy-pasted, faces looked mask-like, and then déjà vu slammed in. She'd leave the building, shake for an hour, and lose the day. We practiced the neutral label, 5530, and a 1-minute stay after dipping below 6/10. Week 1, episodes still came, but recovery shrank from 90 minutes to 25. Week 2, she could remain in the hallway long enough to spot a new scuff on the baseboard. That tiny novelty broke the spell because novelty and true déjà vu can't coexist. 2 upgrades that accelerate this. First, pair every move with a simple cognitive line. Lowering load so context binds, or precision beats prediction. Second, add a forward tether once you're comma. What time is it? And what am I doing next? A single next step restores sequence without feeding analysis. Common pitfalls to dodge. Crowdsourcing interpretations mid-symptom. You'll collect dramatic stories, not calming signals. Stacking too many tools at once, novelty adds load. And aiming for certainty. You don't need certainty. You need contact, precision, and a little time. If you remember nothing else, dissociation widens the timing gap where false familiarity thrives. Don't argue. Reduce load, increase resolution, then stay long enough for your slow system to bind the moment. When binding lands, reality regains texture, and the stamp falls quiet. Jamais vu, when the familiar feels fake. If déjà vu is fake familiar, jamais vu is fake unfamiliar. The place you know suddenly feels staged, hollow, or wrong. You're in your own kitchen, but it looks like a prop. Your name on a form feels borrowed. The route you drive daily turns uncanny. It's unsettling because your context is present, labels, layout, function. But the familiarity tag fails to attach. That missing known glue makes safe scenes feel counterfeit. Why this matters? When familiarity drops out, your nervous system can't borrow safety from "we've done this." If you misread that gap as danger, panic rushes in to fill the space. Then avoidance pairs with relief, and your brain learns the worst lesson. Leave when it feels wrong. Next time, the flag drops faster. Here's the mechanism in plain language. Jamais vu is the inverse timing error. In déjà vu, the fast familiarity stamp arrives before story binds. In jamais vu, story lands without the familiarity stamp. You can name objects, functions, and roles. This is my sink, these are my keys, but the vibe is missing. Under load, your brain prioritizes speed and continuity. If it can't secure continuity, it leans toward unknown equals unsafe. That's the tilt you're feeling. Now, the thing most people miss is that you can rebuild the familiarity flag on purpose. You don't need certainty, you need contact and continuity. Use the touch, name, function ritual. Touch anchors your body in place with a stable object you use daily. The mug, the doorknob, the fridge handle. Name recruits language to scaffold identity and role. This is my kitchen. That's my sink. That's the spice rack. Function is the bridge. Perform a tiny normal action. Pour water, set a spoon to dry, align a magnet on the fridge. Function proves continuity better than any argument. 30 to 60 seconds is enough to start reattaching the tag. Here's a microstory. A client's hallway felt like a hotel, every evening, flat off not his. He'd detour through the garage for instant relief. We installed the ritual. Night 1, touched the banister, named hallway closet bedroom, and placed keys in the same dish. Arousal slid from 7/10 to 5 out of 10 in 90 seconds. Night 3, added function, straightened a picture frame. Night 7, the weirdness flickered, then went dark. Nothing mystical changed. Consistency did. 2 crucial rules. First, stay long enough. The instinct is to flee the wrong feeling room. Don't. Commit to a micro-exposure. Remain 60 to 90 seconds after you dip below 6/10. That extra minute pairs calm while here with the place. Second, breathe with a longer exhale. For in 6 out, 2 to 3 cycles. Longer exhales nudge the brake pedal and help the flag reattach. Common mistakes to avoid. Forcing certainty. Prove this is real is a trap. You're rebuilding familiarity, not solving philosophy. Rapid scanning. Frantic searches scream threat. Slow labeling whispers safety. Room hopping. Swapping scenes every 20 seconds trains avoidance. Pick one spot. Finish the ritual. A quick win you can run today when jamais vu hits at home. Scripted out loud, short and neutral. Fake unfamiliar. Safety tag missing. Borrow routine. Touch. Hand on the doorknob for 3 breaths. Name. Bedroom, closet, nightstand. Function. Adjust the pillow. Place the phone on its usual spot. Align a book's edge. Then micro-expose for 60 to 90 seconds after dropping under 6/10. Close with one forward tether. What am I doing next? Do the first step. Forward motion restores sequence and identity. Why this works? The familiarity flag is state sensitive. Contact and routine supply cues your predictive system trusts. Touch grounds you, naming scaffolds me here now. Function ties this moment to hundreds of prior repetitions. That triad is cheap, fast, and persuasive. Once the flag reattaches, the counterfeit vibe loses authority. If you remember nothing else, remember this checkpoint line. No omen, missing glue. You don't need perfect confidence to be safe. You need touch, labels, and one tiny action. Do those in order, stay past the dip, and let the tag reattach. Then, when the next wave comes, your body recognizes the script and calms sooner. Timeline anxiety.